to kind of do I suppose a personal disclosure about my service provision, the experience of my service, what we witnessed, what we was part of during Operation Campus. In regards to Operation Campus, there's things such as multi-agency working. That means working between the services, service providers, local authorities, such as in this case, Stoke-on-Trent Social Services and Staffordshire Police. Okay, so I've mentioned failings. The honest thing is, what do we need to look at? I think, first of all, I'm just going to apologise because I've been up late supporting someone virtually. But going back to it, the honest thing, this could be looked at in two ways. It could be seen as, actually this is detrimental. It could stop young people coming forward or families coming forward, and I hope that's not the case. However, reality the truth needs to be shown, because from this experience, massive lack, failings in, I'm going to say, brands. The social services within England is known as much as Nike's. Every child near enough knows what the social services is. So does every adult. So when we look at this, I'm going to strategically focus solely, because I can't talk about the policing criminality side of things, that's separate. But from disclosure, I was brought in as a service provider to support, wrap around the young person in quite a lot of aspects, because the honest thing is, I'm dyslexic, so again, I don't want to see no holds barred. This is the life, and the honest thing, my mind runs as well. What I want you to do is think about human rights. Think about self-efficacy. Think about how that is attributed to human rights. Think about exploitative crimes, and think about what actually the local authority are trying to achieve. So whether adult or child, if someone comes forward and is in an exploitative situation and suffering harm, adverse effects, and they disclose, what is our moral and legal responsibility? Well, we can look under the Children's Act, we can look under the Modern Day Slavery Act, we can look under all these things, and we can say we've got a legal responsibility to change that outcome. Now evidence is coming forward, there is a legal responsibility to change this outcome. So, what does that look like under the social services? So to me, my experience of being a service provider, being brought in to support where the social services could not or cannot, and the honest thing, aren't trained, don't have no best practice in place, and don't even have what I can honestly say with the management I witnessed from their strategic level and the policies and procedures and staffing that they had in place at the time for this high profile situation, such as modern day slavery, child exploitation under Operation Campus. Well, there was no specialist team in regards to dealing with trauma-informed practice. There was no specialist advisor in regards to dealing with a victim of modern day slavery. There was no specialist expertise person who was brought in as a perspective on actually the impacts of modern day slavery within a modern day society, or further the impacts of disclosing. There was no safeguarding practices of how to manage the risks faced by this witness in the 21st century society, such as online. There was no structure in place. What was in place is myself and my service. So what I will say is it an exploitative practice at the moment where witnesses, victims come forward in the hopes that they are going to change their life? Social services and the police swamp in. They bring services in to support the victim and witness for a time period, such as from disclosure to just after trial, to keep that person stable or manage their needs, because the honest thing is they are suffering, so there's going to be ripples. And then once that's done, they turn a blind eye. They lie, and I will put that on record right now, because there's already complaints in. They lie to the care leaver and say they're not entitled to support. They leave the care leaver in a worse position than when was under my service and supervision, or the previous. The honest thing is, the direct reflections of the young person, I feel just as exploited as when I did with the gang. They just used me to get what they wanted. So I look at that and I say, actually, we local authorities are not geared or set up to effectively support and manage young people and their families who come forward for high profile and complex exploitative situations that affect all areas of their future. Where are they not going to be identified if they're known in a society where Snapchat is a thing? What practices are in place when we move out of area? Who's speaking to which authority when we move out of area? And the honest thing is, I'm just going to take a side note. I was going to put all these fancy things in, but to me, I'd just rather talk. I'd rather talk to you and just let you know that I have complained about all these things to Parliament. I've complained through the services and the police professional standards. That's how real this is. The young person, the young adult himself now, is even, you know, when he's been comfortable to speak to his peers, the message he's sharing is, they use you. Your life. What I would say is, I'm going to keep doing 10-minute videos, and I'm going to do a big long case study about this, where you will see all the evidence of safeguarding, crisis management, everything I did. You will see the lack of structure within the social services. I can't say if that's a universal approach. However, I would say that a lot of social services operate very similarly. But if this is the case, then our communities, our children, professionals, social service staff, we're all being failed, and our kids are being hurt.